Yeah. How can I do this stream without sounding like I'm hating? I'm not really sure. But we have to go over it. So, don't get mad at me for the stuff that I'm about to say. I'm actually a KD fan. But some of the times the takes that I have on him don't make it seem like it. I don't agree with everything that he does on the basketball court. I 100% think he's a legend. Top 5 offensively that I've ever seen. Top 5, like scoring the basketball. When he wants, he could be a great defender. I have to say all this stuff to just let you know, like, I am a KD fan. He played for the Warriors. I definitely didn't want him to play for the Warriors because I enjoyed seeing OKC versus Golden State was one of the funnest matchups I've ever seen. Let me take this down a little bit. So I'm saying all this just to let you know, like, I'm a fan, right? I'm a fan. Here we go. I have to show you this stuff. All right. So I'm gonna switch the cameras over and you guys can see it. What did Boston do in order to stop Kevin Durant? And I don't think that they did anything special. I believe that they played defense the way that defense is supposed to be played. And without further ado, let me just let you look at it. All right, everybody hear me okay? So here we go. We're going to go through everything, all Kevin Durant's possessions. Now, what I saw is that they just contested. They were in help the whole time. They didn't necessarily double every time, which everybody will say. My thing is, one pass away, you can help off because it's an easy closeout, and I'd rather you shooting the ball in the closeout than I would rather you shooting the ball wide open. So I help off corners. I know a lot of people don't teach to help off corners one pass away. I teach to do that because I watch a lot of NBA teams do so and have a lot of success with that. I believe in starting in help before you having to run to help, or starting in help instead of having to run to help. So this thing is really just a defensive. It's just a defensive video. And I think that everybody can learn from it. All right, here we go. Over the screen, all they did is hard hedge, right? Hard hedge, we could consider the double. He shoots a one-leg shot going left. If he makes it, you did your job. I mean, you can't stop Kevin Durant. And what a lot of people are going to say, is, well, a good shot. What do people say? It's a good shot for KD, right? Opposed to, shooting somebody else. But the further you are away from the basket, that doesn't necessarily connect, in my opinion. All right? That's not how I view things. Just shooting contested shots are bad shots to me. The goal of the game is to get the best shot possible wide open. Skip ahead. KD with the ball. Same thing, right? Almost look like they switched. Good screen. He shoots the exact same shot with a hand right in his face. So the difference between one shot and the other is one was extremely contested and the other was, for the most part, not. Missed the shot. You get a hand up, you do your job because KD is going to hit tough shots and there's nothing that you can do about it. He's going to hit tough shots, right? But if you force him to do more, we got a donation from Adrian Wells. What's good, family? How are you doing? Any one-on-ones coming up? Love your channel. I got a 3-on-3 coming up tomorrow. So I appreciate you guys showing support. My first takeover, you can call it a park takeover, is this Sunday in the Bay Area. So anybody in the Bay Area, look out for what we're getting ready to do. I'm just doing this so I can get 1,000 shoes donated to people who don't have shoes. So I'm pulling up to San Francisco where it all started. And the price of admission is bring a pair of shoes. Like an old pair of shoes or a pair of shoes. We have a company, a sponsor that fixes up shoes. So anyways, you guys kind of get where I'm going. We got enough park takeover teams. I want to do something a little bit different. I like the fact, pulling up, popping out, getting the shot, catch and shoot. For the most part, that's a good shot for KD, in my opinion. But the problem is they didn't have a lot of offense, right? There's a lot of really hard shots, especially towards game 4, which I didn't necessarily agree with. This is game 4 right here, right? So catch and shoot like that, perfect. Like, you just missed it. No hand up. But what people have to understand, the more that you see a hand, it's going to mess up your open shots. So if you're always there, it's going to mess up your confidence during. So tough shot. He was expecting Marcus Smart to sweep or try to strip the ball right here, but he didn't. So he sweeps, takes a off, like right foot, right hand, throws it up, tough shot, it went in. All right, here we go. So, like, they're showing high on the screen, clearly, right? Show, get back. Looking at Robert Williams. Just be solid. You don't necessarily see a double coming right away, right? Marcus Smart is moving over. He's just being help side. All you want to do is make sure, especially a scorer, let the scorer try to score, right? You don't need to necessarily do anything special. If he takes his teammates out of it by not necessarily moving the basketball, if there's no offense, if the coach isn't enforcing ball movement, then you actually are doing your job because you're making him take as tough a shot as possible. Great defense, great individual defense, comes off his chest, strips the basketball off his chest, and then, going the other way. Easy dunk. You want to get him as many easy shots as possible. And I'm not trying to act like I'm some sort of specialist because I know how, KD can get, right? Mind you, I want to tell you guys this. Everybody says don't help one pass away. Look who they're leaving open in the corner. This is what Boston does. They're not doing anything special, right? Tatum is in help already. That's Kevin Durant in the corner. Does that surprise you? It probably does for a lot of people, right? They weren't just doing this for Kevin Durant. They do this for everybody, so they're already in help. Once a ball handler sees that body, they start second-guessing, or it actually affects their original look, which is to go to the basket. He's in help right now. Didn't even make the pass, which is, Kevin Durant in the corner. So now they're in scramble defense. Kevin Durant is still open, which is crazy to me. But that's how Boston played, and he just missed it. But the more looks that you get like that with more ball movement, the higher the chance that you're going to have the win. A big problem for the Nets is they couldn't get more possessions because they couldn't, in my opinion, they couldn't out-rebound. See, they making a lot of high IQ reads, right, defensively. He was going to cut him off completely right there. Forces him into a tough pass, even though the dude was wide open. You want to make simple passes. They're switching everything right here. Tice is guarding them straight up. So I was wondering if that was a double or a trap off of the ball screen. It wasn't. He just switched. So now proof of that is Tice just switched onto him. And they're in help. One pass away. They're not hugging up on Curry. They're not hugging up on him, but they're not doubling him. They're just in help already. So now they go through, make him take a tough shot. He shoots it with a hand right in his face, but let's go backwards a little bit. Count the passes that happened in this possession. Where's the offense? In my opinion, a big part, and I got to keep saying this because I'm a Nash fan, I'm a Durant fan, I'm a Kyrie fan. They bring the ball up the court. Watch what happens. How many passes? A hand right in his face. So you may say, well, that's a good shot for KD, right? I don't think that's a good shot for anybody. Just one pass and get up a shot. In my opinion, that's terrible. So now we kind of got him in the spots where he likes to score in the mid post, right? That's more where I want him to be. But even still, look at Marcus Smart starting to dig. And Jaylen Brown, you did your thing. They're not doubling. They're not hard doubling or anything like that. They're just playing them straight up. Tough pass. The turnovers were definitely a problem. But again, look who's guarding them. They're switching everything. It's nothing special. They're just switching them and say, you know what? We're not going to let you guys get any slips, anything like that. You're just going to make you shoot over the top. And if you beat us like that 4 games straight, so be it. It is what it is. Partially, I think that's why OKC lost to Golden State years back because they started doing exactly this and they were playing on tired legs. And Golden State, on the other hand, is moving the ball. So he makes the shot. But look, the closer you are to the basket, you're getting those, the tougher shots are way easier opposed to shooting it from the 3-point land with a hand literally right there. So, I mean, if he hits these shots, I keep telling you guys, Kevin Durant can do this all day long. He can make tough shots, right? But the key word is tough. And you're thinking about defense. I believe that this is how everybody should play defense. Personally, how Boston's doing, I personally think, you're starting to help. You don't have to run to help because you got to think about it. You're going to go to help anyway, so you might as well start there. So look at what I'm talking about. He's not hugged up on Durant. He's in help already. So now you look at him. He's digging down. That's Kyrie. So all you have to do is make that pass and hope he makes and takes it. He doesn't take it. He goes for a pull-up. Ball back to him. I don't even mind that action right there. It's not even a bad action. It is what it is. He missed it. Just keep looking. So, like, if we get a guy to ISO the whole game, this is what we want. Because look at everybody. Here's what the main thing you need to pay attention to. Look at and I got his assist up here too. So just in case he gets it, actually, I could double take on that. Look at Curry. Look at Claxton. Look at Bruce Brown. Look at Kyrie. This whole possession. So if ball movement isn't enforced, then what do you think the defense is doing? They're just waiting for him to drive right in to help. And he does it on a whole lot of occasions throughout this series, right? All right, here we go. So they're going to switch right here. Tatum fights under. Make him take a tough shot. He makes it. So be it. It is what it is. But that can also work against you, right? Switch it. Switch on to Horford, right? Just make him work. Just do as good as the job you can at the end. A late contest is better than no contest at all because at least you know we're there. Does it go in? Of course not. Because it's a lower percentage shot, the more hand that you get. And what a lot of people say, it's an excuse, it's old. Well, I shoot better with a hand in my face, right? No, it's just that if you miss when you're wide open, you just look sorry. If you miss when there's a hand in your face, it just looks like, well, you can always use that excuse. There was a hand there. Same thing, ISO with Horford there, tough shot, shoot right over the top. They ended up getting an offensive rebound. Those things happen. So, like, really, and Levon BTS, you just kind of said something that was great. No layups either, right? We're going to protect the basket. Which one would you rather have, an open layup or open three, right? Percentage-wise, an open layup is going to score a lot more than an open three. Just think about that, right? So, like, would you rather have a contested two or a contested three? I'd rather have a contested three, actually. 100%, opposed to like a contested layup at the basket, because the percentage are always going to be higher when it comes to this type of stuff, especially the taller that the player gets. Where are we at? Kevin Durant in the mid post. I like that, but even still, what are we doing? So Golden State, we watched Kevin Durant with Golden State, and this is why I was so opposed to him really being on Golden State, because I knew it would mess up what we had in Steph. And low-key, I thought it would mess up what we had in Kevin Durant because he was special with OKC. It was fun watching him. It was fun watching him and Russ. No matter what you want to say about Russ, it was fun watching those two play together. It was fun watching them compete against Golden State, LeBron, all those guys, right? So now think about this. When Golden State goes into the mid-post, there's a split action. When the ball goes into the mid-post in Brooklyn, watch what happens. Yet again, literally everybody is just standing around. Blake Griffin is standing there. Curry is standing there. Kyrie is literally almost facing towards the sideline away from Durant's back is turned towards Durant. So it's like, I'm not getting the ball almost. And then he's driving. So you can count 4 people in the paint, almost 5 if you count his foot on the box. So there's almost 5 guys around him, and he still ends up shooting, whereas you have Kyrie Irving wide open at the top. So a lot of this I actually don't even blame on Durant. I blame that the ball movement and the play calling isn't there. Just watch it. So here we go. No real movement, right? Maybe a little baby cut by Blake Griffin, but I mean, he goes right in to help. They're making him take tough shots. They're in his jersey right now, shoot over the top. So be it. If he makes it, it just happens. Kevin Durant can do that. But, I mean, what happens is, just imagine you playing open gym. You're playing open gym, and you haven't touched the ball in like 6 possessions. Then all of a sudden, the guy who's been taking all the shots passes it to you, and you airball it. And in your head's like, dang, I was cold. But in his head, he's like, you got to make that because they doubling down on me. Well, why you think? Because I ain't even touched the ball to even think to make a play, to make a pass, to be trusted to make a pass or make a play, even just to feel the basketball. So, like, this is what you get. But, see, this type of stuff, this is off a pick and roll. You hit the roll, man, boom, extra pass, which would be wide open. Even Seth Curry's wide open because they were going to rotate. Close out, pull up. You'll take that all day, right? That's a perfect opportunity to knock down the shot. I want to know what you guys think about what I'm showing you guys so far. Am I just like, is it all cap? Am I just like lying, or I don't know? Like, I'm just telling you what I'm seeing. This isn't anything special, and Boston is just doing what they're supposed to do defensively, right? What is so special about what Boston is doing? They're starting in help, which they've done the whole season. They're switching because they have the personnel to do so. They're forcing you to play ISO, and I mean, he's literally giving him a high five right here, and it's a tough shot. And mind you, this is 5 minutes left, and it actually gets worse from this point on too. So, boy, I mean, it's a little bit of offense, but it's really just to get him back into the mid post. So what can happen? Nothing really. It's just one little cutter down the middle who he's not really even cutting. And all 5 heads are looking at Kevin Durant. Are they doubling? No. They're just, because the only thing that can score the basketball is the basketball. You can't. Nobody else can score without the ball. So it's just like they're going to focus on them. He takes a turnaround shot, he makes it, whatever. You're going to live with it because none of their other teammates feel like they're, even in the game. So it's just like, how many times have you seen a mid post? Nothing happening. It's just slide over everybody's stand. Do you see how many times the ball is passed to Kevin Durant and they're just standing there? This isn't necessarily on Kevin Durant. It's the culture that needs to be built in Brooklyn. Tough shot. Yeah, he crossed him a little bit, right? But at the end of the day, you got some sort of a hand up, and that's all you can ask for against a player like Kevin Durant because he's good enough to hit those shots regardless. And, I credit, I'm going to say this. Right? You know who I actually blame? A lot of the basketball culture, because what a lot of people will say is, well, he's not being aggressive enough, right? Instead of just saying, or instead of noticing what I'm showing to you guys and just be like, well, the ball needs to move more. It's more about just shoot it, because Kobe would have shot it. Kobe would have took 40 shots instead of just talking about ball movement. Whereas at Golden State, what did people not remember about Golden State? They said Kevin Durant was the best player, this and that, whoop-de-whoop, right? The biggest difference is Kevin Durant is operating. He's running right into help in this. He's running straight to it. Let me see if he does it on this play. Oops. Yeah, here we go. Let me see. I actually, and you guys can tell me if it's just all cap or not, right? Mind you, if the Celtics do anything special in this possession, let me know. Marcus Smart in help side. We're not hugging on the corner, man. They're just in help. The pass wasn't even made to a wide open Dragic. He takes a tough shot right there. He makes it. All right, so whatever. He took a tough shot. The biggest difference between this team and then Golden State, ball movement is enforced, 1. But 2, you can't help off of Clay and you can't help off of Steph because that's a layup for them, which are special shooters or whatever, right? So, like, who's more? We're not even going to get into that conversation. That's a whole different conversation. I'm a KD fan, but I can't help but not notice this stuff. In terms of like, you have to see it. I don't understand how you can watch what we just watched and just be like, well, it's because he wasn't aggressive enough or he didn't make enough. Well, no shit. He's taking the toughest shots literally possible. the most clutch part of the game. Now, mind you, again, right? He dribbles the ball down from 24 seconds all the way down to 18. The ball's going in the air, not one pass. And how many minutes are left in the game? 1 minute and you're down by 3. So there's no offense. It really just feels like high school. And then I want to point something even more. How many times have we seen like a high five? Like they're in his jersey, making him take the toughest shot possible. Now look who we got on him. Who's number 12? Can anybody point? I always forget his name. Can he really guard KD? No. This is a horrible shot. This is horrible. Like, I mean, it couldn't be any worse. And if he hits it, well, a lot of people will be like, well, you wouldn't be saying anything if he hits it. Yes, I would. Because even if they went to the next round, you take these tough shots against a better team, against another better team, Eastern Conference Finals, I mean, you're just going to get beat. That's just all that's going to happen. And Grant, that's his name. My bad, Grant Williams. You would think I would know that because he has my same last name. But I thought that was Peyton also. All right, here we go. Down 4, whatever. You had to take the shot, but it's still a hand up right there. All right, let's go even further. So this is just really a defensive thing, right? I'm going even further. 5'9". I'm going to just stop at this game because I think that you'll get the point after you see this. Because this isn't a desperation game. This is, down 2. Just get a W. This is the first game at home. Mind you this, too. I mean, are they in the zone right now? Ball movement, right? Okay, in the zone, whatever. It might be a zone, catch and shoot. Wouldn't you rather more shots with Kevin Durant just knocking down shots? Adrian, I did say something to your super chat. I thanked you. Family, love your channel, one-on-one. Yeah, there's no one-on-ones coming right now, but there's a 3-on-3. I acknowledge and I really appreciate you sending that $10 through. If you guys enjoy, if you have the extra bread, anything will help. I'm giving it right to my son. Anyways, wrong, Devin. People don't help off Clay and Curry because his teammates are helping him. Uh-huh. Also, that's not a bad shot. KD is a tough shot maker. He could have had a better shot, but that's not a bad shot. Well, to me, it is. When you take a shot with a hand right in your face, it's not a high percentage shot. A good shot is an open shot, in my opinion. When you have to go into the shot clock 6 seconds or less, then, yeah, you can get into your bag and take a tough shot. But you want to hunt open shots first before you go into a tough shot. I mean, I don't see why that's so hard to understand. Yes, the closer you are to the basket, the higher the percentage is going to be. So him shooting in the mid post is ideally what you want. But I mean, why would you rather? I don't understand how that's so hard to understand. I don't understand. Let's just keep looking though. So like hand right in his face, guys. If nobody touches the ball for 24 seconds or for the whole possession, and the shot goes up with a hand in the face, how is that not a bad shot? I don't understand it. In what world is that a good shot? Appreciate the money again, you guys. Appreciate that. I mean, that's a good shot to you guys. Who is that a good shot to? Like, he made the shot. It doesn't matter. I told you he's going to hit tough shots. I mean, if I go to half court, I watch the Grizzlies game. They have a little bear mascot that goes to the half court and he throws it backwards about 10 times and makes one and the crowd goes crazy. Well, he's 10%. That's a good percentage of you guys. So now let's just have Kevin Durant just go to half court and just throw the ball backwards. And if he hits one, great, because it was a tough shot, but it's good for him. I don't understand the mindset behind it, because I've been hearing a lot of people kind of break this stuff down, and it's just like, doesn't make sense. Like, this, KD's not more aggressive. What are we talking about? Why don't we just talk about the offense? What is this offense, you guys? All right, here we go. Look at Drummond. All right, is Drummond setting the screen here? He never makes it there. So he's supposed to set it for Kevin Durant, but they're going under everything. They're switching everything, right? They didn't even adjust to this. They didn't even adjust to the fact that there should have been so many. It should have been slip city to the basket, space out the floor, but not one. They're in help right there. Okay, of course you want to put two shooters on that side, but they didn't. Ball back out, and then we get ISO. I want you to see this. Everybody knows Steph Curry, right? He's the greatest shooter of all time, in my opinion. He has a brother. Now, his dad played in the NBA, right? Now, his dad was known as a shooter. Steph Curry is known as the best shooter of all time. Now, he has a brother. What are the chances you think that he can shoot? Now, you can bring up his sister, whatever. She didn't play basketball. So, Steph Curry, we seen him at Duke. We seen him at Philadelphia play great, wide open shots. He knocks him down. Actually, a pretty clutch shooter. They're helping off of him in the corner. Am I the only person seeing that? They're starting it help so they don't have to run the help. If they see that body, the ball gets picked up, you did your job. The ball doesn't even make it to him, though. And he shoots it anyways. That's a good shot. In what world is that a good shot? I'm a KD fan, but come on, bro. Come on, y'all. Is that KD's fault? Who's the leader? And it's just like, well, why did these guys get swept? And silly me, I like to put myself out there too. Silly me for thinking that there were people trying to duck the Nets. I think the Celtics were salivating at a chance to play against them. Oh. I would rather have a good, you know how easy it is to close out from the elbow to the three, especially if you're the same height as somebody? Look at Tatum. From right there, he was in help, then he got out to help. And I proved it's not just Durant they're doing that on. They're doing on Kyrie, they're doing Steph Curry. One pass away, they're helping. Do you think that that's anything special? So let me put this in perspective of what I'm saying. They're leaving Durant open and they're closing out to him. So he's open for a brief second and then they're closing out to him. A lot of people just say, just stay home, right? They're not. They're not staying home. One pass away, they said deny the wings, right? They're not. They're plugging the middle up so that you have to pass the ball out. Just in perspective, just give you an example. Think about the three-point line like an umbrella. They don't want rain to penetrate and get in the umbrella like there's holes in the umbrella and get in the paint. Just think about it like that. So the umbrella's job is for you to stand under an umbrella and water goes outside. All right, it pushes it away. They're pushing everybody towards the outside, towards the sidelines, towards the half-court lines. Just to give a very simple analogy, right? And getting a hand up. He almost gave him a high five. I think he made this shot, right? But yet again, right? Open shot, what do you get? It's going to happen more times unless you're going to knock down the shot with an open shot. Okay, pick and roll. Because see, the thing is this. Everybody's in the paint. Right? He steps up. Jalen is in the paint. The closer that you get to the basket, the longer that the arms get. So there's a higher chance of a deflection. Boom. And you got exactly that, a deflection. Well, what do you know? Another open shot. Now, how many open shots did he miss? That's what I would like to know. What was his percentage on open shots? If he shot a higher percentage on open shots, don't you think the goal would be to get him more open shots? They're not doing anything special. One-on-one defense. Sliding with him. Here's the main thing defensive-wise that you look at, though. It's not so much this is great on-ball defense, right? This is what you look at. Look how everybody slides over. You had Tice there, you had Horford there. All right, so I'll read some of the comments. So you're asking if it's KD's fault for taking tough shots with no ball movement or play call, right? Could it have been a result of him hunting for his shots too often? It could be a combination of things. Now, I don't pretend to know everything, right? But I do know, I watch a lot of Golden State, and their thing is just finding the open man. And the ball's going to find who it's supposed to find, and normally that's going to be its best players. I spent some time telling them, so I kind of like know a little bit. Even when Durant was there, even before Durant was there. I went to about 40 games in person. And a lot of games, if you look back, I was behind the bench. So, like, you're trying to essentially run your offense so you can find the most open man. And then it's nice to have that guy at the end of the clock that you could throw the ball to that could shoot over people. Think about it. Harrison Barnes. When they started winning the championship, Harrison Barnes. Now, he stunk the joint up game 7 or whatever. All we needed him to hit was one effing 3. Couldn't do it. But it's okay, though, because a lot of times, you know, he would play really good, knock down shots, but he could also shoot over people. Wiggins. They got Wiggins doing the same thing, playing the exact same role as a Kevin Durant, as a Harrison Barnes, right? But KD is just way better than them, and he's taller than them, so he can shoot over people. So, like, but at the beginning of their offense, they're trying to have the most open shot, right? Think about it, right? So now Kevin Durant goes and says, well, you know, he pretty much, from what I understand now, KD, if you're watching, my bad if I sum this up wrong. The ball movement is cool, but I'm kind of tired of, like, he kind of got sick of the ball movement and wanted to go more. Here's an example. Y'all know who I am, KD, right? Think about it. He was just shooting over the top of people. It wasn't necessarily because the ball moved. So it's nice to have that type of person, right? KD goes out, ball movement immediately goes up. They start sweeping people. Think about it. If you really think back on that type of stuff. Now, against a team like the Raptors, who also encourages ball move, also plays great defense, it would have been super nice to have that third guy. But they didn't have him when KD went out, right? They didn't have a Wiggins or they didn't have a Harrison Barnes. So it was ball movement without that extra piece. I don't know if I'm making any sense to people, but, like, I mean, it makes sense to me in my head. I don't know. Like, a lot of people think I'm just saying some BS, but shot, hand right in his face, Marcus Smart, defender of the year. He made the shot. But, you know, I do like it. It got ball screen, and he started getting downhill, and this is just, it's not great defense in my opinion because they didn't switch or they didn't hedge. Are they switching? Yep, they're switching straight up. Oh, they're playing. Oh, no. I thought it was a zone. I actually really like what Marcus Smart did. He knew that shot was going up, so I'm not gonna let my boy get jumped. You know, I'm gonna go do the jumping first. So he goes over there and helps out anyways, because Grant Williams was getting shook around. It helps to have a hand and no hand. Honestly, when I play one-on-one, when it's so easy when people don't just kind of give up and don't challenge the shot. When I constantly know that somebody's hand is going to be there, it starts to affect the shot 100%. And I have to reprogram my head to, like, all right, yo, like, I have to shoot like nobody's there. If they block it, so what, right? Check this out. Do you see who's in the corner, bro? Right here. From right here, Grant Williams stunts, but his foot is in the paint. And Kyrie Irving is in the corner, and the ball didn't go there. Matter of fact, it went to the basket, up and under, extra help was brought, almost an air ball layup. So there's nothing you can tell me. The ball movement from some angle is not being enforced. It can't be. Because look what happens every play. How many times have I said the ball goes into, there's no split action, which blows my mind, by the way, because you got Kyrie Irving. The ball goes into the mid post and everybody just stands around. So it's like, the pass ain't gonna come. Just go double. Why not? And that's like the first time we seen somebody double, right? That's the first time we saw it. Meanwhile, you're saying Marcus Smart is doing a great job on Kyrie Irving. Now, you get a couple free throws and layups and open shots to go through. It doesn't matter who's guarding you if you're Kyrie Irving. He's not getting it. He didn't get that. In those situations. Now, I'm not going to say, act like I handpicked. Now, this is all Kevin Durant's possession. So that's all I'm showing you. Well, uncontested, right? What's the percentage on it? It blows me away, bro. Switching does not solve everything, right? It's nice to be able to do so. Switching does not solve everything. It only leaves slips available if you slip early enough. If you start in space and then run to the screen, it'll be wide open. Honestly, I'm kind of pissed off watching this stuff. Cause personally, I wanted it to be a better series. Now, obviously, there's a whole lot of stuff not being talked about, and let's just be honest. We could talk about the situation with Kyrie. I don't knock him for not getting his backs and whatever, but it makes sense, right, that they just lost because they weren't able to build the chemistry, and he even talked about it the other day. So it's just it happens. What happened. He's only able to play half of the games. Luckily, he was able to play the full playoff. Then you got the Harden situation where they just still lost it there to have Harden. They probably would have still got swept, maybe won a game. Then on top of that, there's Ben Simmons. There's a report that comes out and says that, that he could have played and he was fine or whatever, but it was just, no, it said that his confidence or whatever was affecting his back or his mental health issues. It's just I don't want to say a person is lying or anything. I just know everything sounds crazy to me. That story is a mystery. But I know mental health does cause stress, which goes to heart related issues, whatever. It's just a wild situation with that. Brooklyn Torius, sub coach, can you make a Marcellus the Duck Howard actually play one? Me and Sel be playing one. Sel chilling, bro. It's not that we jump in to play one-on-one. It's a whole wave going on. And I get it. Me and Sel will play. And he'll play against other people. But, he's more into trying to get into another profession, which I respect, So it's not just blaming Kevin Durant, but you can't help but not see this. What are they doing special? It's not like they're guarding people Jason Tatum just completely locked them down. He didn't switch. We put Marcus Smart on Kevin Durant. He never switched and blah, blah, blah. He dribbles down the court and Grant Williams switches on him. And Jason Tatum is helping off. He's helping off. He's not hugging. One pass away from Kyrie Irving. And he passed it right to him. What did they do special? Some of these was looking crazy. I ain't gonna lie. Somebody just asked us, Dev, do you feel like the series would have been better if Simmons would have played? And you know what? I thought about that. What type of sense would it make? Because at first I thought Brooklyn would have won the series, but what kind of sense would that make? You got a guy that hasn't played in how many years? I don't know, a year or whatever. Let's say a year. You got Kyrie, who's played 40 games or whatever. Yeah, he's played half of the season in the playoffs. You got Kevin Durant, who missed a lot of time. And then they made trades midway through the season at the trade deadline, right? And got Drummond, Seth Curry, which I know they had because they could still be over there winning. Why would they have beat Boston, who's been gelling since February? It didn't even make sense, logically. So I could say, yeah, maybe, they would have been fine, but like, no. Like, no, they were still lost. What, Ben Simmons going to save him from the 3-point line? Now, the thing is, he would have been on minutes restriction, right? I don't know. I was all for the Nets winning, but, I don't know. I want to get off because I want to go hang out with my son. Chicken strip. I didn't really understand this per se because, okay, so this bothered me too when I watched it. You kick the ball ahead to Seth Curry. Now it's a 2-on-1, being that Marcus Smart would have had to either take Seth Curry or Kyrie Irving. Horford clearly committed, right? Now, in the perfect world, Jaylen Brown would have went over to Seth Curry, but he didn't. He couldn't have done that right here, right? And the ball, they could have did a give and go, but he goes right into where helps out. Oh, chicken strip. Wish they just made a good defensive play. It is what it is. This isn't a double team. It's not a double team. They're just in help, and they know he's going to commit. All right, let's see if they're getting downhill off the side out of bounds. Guys, this isn't a double team. They're just in help, digging. He's stunning. Like, the corner man is just stunning, and he's planning on getting back, and he shot it anyways. With his shooter, that's a shooter in the corner. You gotta make that, because now if you make them a threat, now imagine what Kevin Durant would be if he's taking everybody one-on-one. He banged on him. Hey, Loki should have won a couple of these games. They kind of gave him up. I don't know. Defensive. This is a defensive session, so hopefully you guys are learning something. Interested in your thoughts, questions, concerns. I just want to read some stuff. Great defense. So look, he's getting slid around, right? Think they're in a zone. They could be in a zone, but a good man. I can't believe he didn't just get the ball or backdoor. Like, a good man looks like a zone, so they could be playing. Let me make sure of this. All right, so they're guarding the ball screen. Horford switches. Marcus Smart is guarding Dragic, but he's just not leaving, right? Ball goes through. So, like, think about this. They're just switching. It looks like they're just switching to me. You could say a box and one, but no, that wouldn't make sense, right? Switch. 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 That's not a zone. He's getting slid around. They're just in help. And the pass wasn't made. It's always too late when the closer you get to the basket, the longer the arms are going to be. To be honest, I feel like another problem was Nets players were watching and not moving around, giving more options to KD to make play. Now, whose fault is that? I don't blame that on KD. There should be, it's not, if ball movement and player movement is enforced, then the players should and would do that, right? If you're telling people to do that. But instead, it's just like, well, let's just go let KD go ISO at the top. He's good enough. This is a good shot for KD, right? Switch. And that's cool because he backed up. Get your hands up. I'm reading your comments. You don't have to have good handles to facilitate. Somebody says KD's handle's good enough to facilitate. Does Jokic have a handle? I don't think he's a great passer. I don't think he's a great ball handler. You're not taking it from him. He's a really good passer. Bucks in Boston is gonna be a good game, man. I think you guys seen enough. First first park takeover we're considered the block party. That's in San Francisco. Really, Daly City. It's a gym called Ceremony. If you happens this Sunday. You could call it a park takeover because I'm gonna go and hoop. But it's happening at the first gym that I ever trained at, in 10,000 hours. For those of you guys who've been following since then. So if you guys can pull up, it'll be dope. But the price of admission is an old pair of shoes. Bring that. We're gonna give it to people who don't have shoes. We're trying to get 1,000 pairs of shoes. There'll be a DJ there. There'll be food there. There'll be vendors that you can come check out their newest clothes. It's a wave of clothing happening in the Bay Area. Pull up. We're trying to get as many people out there as possible to get these shoes out to people in Armenia and people in the Bay Area that don't have shoes. Like, think about it. It's people that are so broke. COVID hit them so hard that they don't have shoes. Like, help us do that for people. I think it would be dope. It'll be something really good. We're going to go all the way around and do that. That's why I built my team, to be able to be charitable and give stuff away to people. So if you're down, pull up. If you got to travel for it, come on, let's do it. I'll be hooping this Sunday. I'm going to get in, run a little bit. I got my squad ready to go. Much love to everybody. Hopefully this session taught you something. I mean, I can't. It's hard not to sound like a KD hater because I actually really like KD. But anyways, much love to everybody. I'll catch you on the next session.